down and be able to reference it.
So when you download the orders, what we're doing behind the scenes is we're creating a shipping order and we're assigning serial numbers to each individual bat in the order. Okay, so the next step is actually creating the bats from the billets and adding them to inventory. Okay, so once everything's been added for that particular order, then you want to ship it out because that's going to move that inventory out of the warehouse. It's going to consume it. So unless you complete a shipping order, these bats will hang around forever in inventory, and you don't want that because it won't be accurate. So we'll start with, I brought down the database from this morning. This is a good one to work with because we only have one bat on the order. So if I look at that, you know, if I go into the order lines, I can see what the bat is. We have a serial number assigned, and the reason we do that is now when you actually add the bat to inventory, it'll commit that bat to this order based upon the serial number. So we know we're shipping the right one. So for this order, if I go into your bat list, it was 5418, right? And I filter by the order number. Okay, it shows me the bat and what I need to manufacture. So let's say I've done that, I've cut the billet, I've created the bat, and now I want to add it to inventory. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go here and I'm going to add the bat to inventory. So this bat now is finished and it's sitting in inventory. So if I want to find it in inventory, I can do it a couple of ways. I can look for OB1 in the item master list. Because this is all filtered by model numbers. So if I look for OB1, if you come over here, you'll see the stock. So this shows me how many I have in stock. And if I click on that, then it takes you in and it shows you. And this is the bat right here and the reference to the order. This is the one we just added, all right?
Yep, perfect.
So now that bat's in inventory and you're ready to ship. So what you need to do to ship is you go back into the order, click on the order lines, okay? I'm going to choose the location here because it'll pull it from this location with this serial number. So this bat's ready to ship. So I just basically click this button right here that says Start Issue. Now what this does is it takes us into the issue grid, okay, which is it's similar to the order grid, but it shows it as a shipping order issue, and it shows what it's going to pull out of stock. And then all you got to do is finish the issue. So this guy is now gone. Okay, he's been issued out, he's boxed, he's going to FedEx, UPS, or wherever you're shipping him out of here. Okay, he's out of inventory. So if I wanted to see that order again, you'd find it in the completed orders, okay? And it will show you the bat that was shipped out against it, the serial number. And just to prove my point, if I do a search here and go to inventory, locate, move, you can always search your inventory by serial numbers too. So if I do that, I think there was something in there. Okay, there's nothing found, it's gone. I also made a change so your bat list, once inventory has been shipped or orders have been shipped, they drop off your bat list so you won't see them there anymore.
Okay.
Okay, so if I were to look for that order 5418, it's no longer there, okay, because the order's been shipped. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make another small change to that. So when you add a bat to inventory, it no longer shows in this bat list. This bat list would be more like a work in progress list to show you what's outstanding. So once it's been added to inventory or it's been shipped out of the building, it'll no longer show up here.
Okay, so all of the bats that we have finished and we've sent to Chandler, that should come off that bat list, right? And just
Well, I
be
might have to do something because that's before those orders weren't actually shipped out as orders. They were
Right.
just imported. So I can do that. I can certainly drop them off the bat list. I got to figure out a way to do it though, because right now the way it works is it looks at our archive table, and those bats, we use the order numbers. You know, basically we fooled the system. We use the order numbers so we could group all those bats together and print one massive bat tag with all the
right.
bats on it. It really wasn't an order. We just used that field so we could combine them all into one, you know, monster PDF file. But yeah, I can certainly get them off that list. I just have to figure out how I'm going to do it. Because right now, the list actually looks at orders, you know, real orders. You know, order
Right.
header, order. I could probably make an order header and an order. I don't know. I'll figure it out, Teresa. It's just something
But is that
so I
what
can
we
drop
want
them
to
off
do?
the list.
That's what we want to do, right? Based on what you
Yeah,
said
they
before.
shouldn't be in that list anymore, right? They're gone, so they're in Chandler.
But we want to be able to access Chandler, right? And we'll be able to go to Chandler inventory and we'll be able to see exactly what he has there.
Right. All you got to do is go in the item master list, change your warehouse to Chandler, and that shows you here. Again, you know, if I click on these links, you'll see what he has in inventory for these models. Also, if you go into reports, do an inventory count. I think we can just do an inventory count by warehouse. And put a filter of Chandler on there. Okay, that'll filter everything. That'll show you everything in stock for the Chandler warehouse.
So it shows us quantity. So this is just a report. You can't get in and see how many are actually there. It's just showing you total, how many you have of each model, right?
Right.
Perfect. Can you scroll up to the top to see the headings again? Available.
Yeah, it's just
Okay.
available in stock. It's kind of like the item master list. You know, it hasn't been modified. We can make, you know, we can change these for you. You know, to show different things if you want, but you know, right now it's a stock report, and you guys are anything but stock, especially with these bats. But
Right.
again, let's go back to the bat list. Really, anything that doesn't start with a 5 is something that was imported in to Chandler, correct? I mean,
What do you,
all the legitimate orders from WooCommerce show up as a 5, starting with a 5. Everything else was something we imported initially.
WooCommerce, exactly. Yep.
Right. So if I get rid of all of these bats, except the ones that start with 5, out of the bat list, then we're good. You should have nothing but WooCommerce orders in there right now. Or did you manually create ones?
We manually created a handful. Ben, there's like 12. We could easily pull those back if you're able to put all of them to Chandler, that would work.
Well, like I remember the formatting, so I can like take out all the Chandler imports, and then I think
the only ones we did were just recently. We did some stock bats we put into inventory that we're
keeping. Which is fine, but I mean, mine all has specific names like first import, second import, third import, exactly. All of that stuff.
What we've done,
I can filter them out. I can figure out which ones I did and which ones you didn't. I'll leave those untouched.
All of the ones we did, you should send also. The only ones that shouldn't be sent were like 12 bats that we did either today or yesterday. But everything else even if we did them. The way we did them is we put a date on the date that we were creating the tag, but there's still all inventory for Chandler.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
you can send.
Did you ship them to Chandler, or did I ship them to Chandler? I didn't do it, right? So did you just import them into the Chandler warehouse? When you added them to inventory, did you just add them into Chandler?
Well, some were, not all of them. I needed to know how I can go in and correct that because it depended. We had a couple people making the tags.
Well, why don't you take me to one of them, and then we'll take a look at it.
If you go to the very end,
for one of them?
I don't, but if you go to the very end, the last one page, you might be able to find them that way. So.
Well, it's easily to cross-reference the list with what's in active inventory. All I have to do is create a SQL query that says, you know, if this serial number is in inventory, take it off the bat list.
Okay.
It'll go.
I can give you the ones that shouldn't go to Chandler, and everything else should go. How's that?
Well, I think the easiest thing to do is I'll leave everything on the list that isn't already in inventory. If you haven't added it to inventory, it's not in Chandler, not in our system. You may think it is, but it's not. You got to physically add it.
We haven't added anything new.
Right. So what I'm saying is anything that I have currently in inventory and I match it up by serial number, I'm going to take them off the bat list so they won't show there. And then we'll have a much smaller list to deal with. I think that's the first thing I want to do.
Okay.
Okay. So like this bill inventory, yeah, I didn't create that. And it's WIP, it's not in inventory yet. Once you put it in inventory, it flips to finished goods. So I can tell by that it hasn't been added.
We didn't know anything about this step to add to inventory. We were just,
yeah, we reviewed it, but I mean, it was so long ago. I mean, you need to do that. You need to add those, you know, as you finish the product, you just have your folks just go back into the edit on the bat list and just add it to inventory.
So
these are all finished.
Is there no way to add them to inventory except for individually?
Yeah, you have to add them individually to inventory. You know, you're creating the bats one by one and bringing them in inventory, so that's the way it's set up now. If you can think of a different way to do it, you know, I'm all ears, but it means changing things again.
It's just we didn't know that when we were making the tag, so that means we need to go back now to all those tags we've made in the last 2 weeks. We had no idea about.
Yeah, like I said, once I, you know, eliminate from this list those bats that are currently in inventory, you're going to have a much smaller list to deal with. It won't seem so daunting a task.
That'd be great.
Yeah, so I can do that. Anyways,
okay.
Let me show you what I mean. I'll do it right here on the test one. Let's see, delete. Am I on? No, I'm on my local system. I'm not on the test one. I'll do it afterwards. Then I'll, you know. Well, I don't want to take up your time doing that. That's the whole thing. So, anyways, that's how you ship an order, basically. You know, you create the bat. You know, you use the bat list, the edit tag to create the bat. Once the bat's created, add it to inventory. It's going to be committed to the order. So when you go to ship the order, it's going to know which bat to pull based upon the serial number. And when you do that, when you ship that order and complete it, it actually finishes, you know, it removes the bat from inventory. So you won't find it there anymore. It's gone. It's out the door.
So I noticed you have a couple different levels of going through inventory, like this here, this status. What are the different statuses you have? You have finished goods, and then you have work in progress. Is that all?
That's it. That's all we have right now, yeah.
So when we bring an order over from WooCommerce, what does it come over as? Work in progress?
Yep.
can we use that status to, remember I was talking to you about wanting to be able to move from one of our stations to the next, to go from back cutting to finish to shipping? Can that just be a status?
It could, or it could also be a location where you actually move the bat into a location called cutting.
Okay, which is easier from a programming perspective?
Well, from a programming perspective, I don't have to do anything.
Okay.
You set it up as a station, as a location. But
okay.
You're going to have to manage it. You're going to have to move the bat.
Right.
So, and you know, and I can show you what we, if we were to go in here and go into Shirley. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a location in the Shirley warehouse. Okay, and I'm going to add cutting as a location.
Yep.
Okay, so now just to double check. Okay, so now I have a location called cutting. If I take, let's go back and pull one of the works and finished goods. It would have to be a finished good in order to make the move. You'd have to, so in other words, you'd have to receive it into inventory first before you could move it to cutting.
Right, it can't be work in progress.
It can't be work in progress, right? So let's grab a bat that's a work in progress. Filters. I think I got. So basically, I'm filtering the bat list by whip. So now see, this shows 466. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say I know one that we're moving today that we could do, but it doesn't matter. Is this the live or is this the Devo?
No, this is the Dev site.
Okay, so go ahead. Just so if you grab, so the work in progress would have to move to inventory first.
Right.
Or finish.
So basically, let's, you know, I'm going to do this one. So basically, I would, I'm going to grab that serial number so I can use it. But if I go into edit, and if it's not in inventory, you're going to have this button available. So I'm going to add it to inventory.
Yep.
Okay. Now I can go into my locate and move screen.
Mm-hmm.
And I can search based on that serial number.
Mm-hmm.
What happened there? I wasn't Shirley, right? Let me hang on. Make sure it's a serial number. Yeah, he's in finished goods now. Inventory. No, I didn't want to go there. Sorry. Okay, move. Yeah, just search by paste. Maybe he was a Chandler bat. That's weird. Why can't I find the bat? Maybe he didn't get added in. Let me, I hate it when things don't go the way I expect them to go. Save. Okay, let's go back to the bat list.
He could have better.
Serial number. Well, that's weird.
That is weird.
It didn't change that to amateur, did it?
No. No, it always has D in front of him now.
It changed it for some reason.
Huh. Oh, when you added it to inventory.
Yeah. It shouldn't be doing that. I need to take a look at that stored procedure, but I'll take a look at that too. Hang on, let me make a note of that because that's not good. Add to inventory, changing bats. Supposed to ignore it. It has a serial number. Let me try another one just to make sure I'm not losing my mind here. If I filters status. Okay, here's another one. It's marked as amateur, so yeah, there's one of the stored procedures needs to change.
That changed. But I would love for it to change it, because that D means nothing. The A tells us now it's an amateur bat. See if it gives it a P. If we could get rid of the D in the beginning, that'd be awesome. I don't know where that D comes from.
Well, it's just a mask. I mean, we talked about that when we said I need to assign serial numbers. I guess I mean, that's fine, but you need to know then, I guess when you search for serial numbers, and you're not going to want to search with that D prefix. You're going to want to go into, if you go into locate move.
What would happen if you just put 1009? Would it not bring it up?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, it would. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
So if I go in here and paste that D in there and just get rid of that,
yeah,
it's going to find it. Okay, so it found it. So now if you wanted to move that to cut,
awesome.
We're going to move it to cutting right here, okay? It shows you the location it's in now, which is a dock. And basically all you do is you choose the location you're moving it to, and then you mark it and you move it, and then it gets moved to cutting. So now, if you want to see everything in cutting, if you go to locate move, and you say, show me everything in the cutting location, it's going to show you that, okay?
Yep.
So if we go back and we'll move another one into it. Let's try and see if it changes P too. Okay, if I change this to professional, add the bat to inventory. No, it changed it to A.
No, it says amateur.
Yeah, I thought I changed to professional.
You did. Yeah. Save it. Save it before you do.
Let's pick another one. But so this one, I'm going to move it to cutting while I'm at it though. So we go in here, we go to locate move, put in the location, the serial number, paste. Was that a Chandler bat? Yep. Okay, that's a Chandler bat. So Chandler, we don't have cutting set up. They don't manufacture there anyways, right?
No, they don't.
Yeah, so you only need all you need is cutting in Shirley.
Right. Chandler just needs bring it in, bring it in and put it out.
Yeah, they have receiving dock and finished goods. They have whip, but I think we only had that.
I take that back. As far as locations at Chandler, what we're going to do, and we don't have those designated yet, is they're going to have actual, like you'd have locations in a warehouse. They may have bin A, section 3.
Yeah.
So we can set all those up for Chandler, right, under the location?
Yeah, basically you'd go into inventory again, go into locations.
For cutting.
For Chandler. Okay.
Yep.
This will always show you, this always shows you the warehouse you're working in. So you need to know, where you are at all times. But like if you wanted a bin location, bin 1, you would just add a new location. you know, for the Chandler warehouse, bin 1.
Nice.
Save it. And then if you go to the list, you'll see it's available.
Right.
And you can create, you can make whole locations, like if you wanted to add one for damaged goods, which is a pretty popular one. Just do damaged goods, mark it as a hold location, and then whenever you move anything into it, you can't ship against it. You can't ship out a damaged bat. So that's, you know, anything in a hold location is not available for shipping, in other words.
Can you go in and change that status on the individual bat? You'd have to take it out of damaged goods in order to be able to move it?
Yeah, just move it to another location.
Yeah, okay.
Okay?
Yep.
So then let's go back to your bat list. I want to try that change again to the serial number and save it first. Make sure I'm not losing my mind. Okay, so edit. Okay, so this is an amateur bat. I'm going to change it to professional. Save it. Yeah, then add the bat to inventory. Yep, that worked. So now that went in as a professional.
Excellent.
Okay. So yeah,
Excellent.
I mean, I didn't even know I made that change for you.
That's excellent. Okay, so we've been just missing a step here.
Yeah, you need to add those bats to inventory, and you need to finish your orders. Now, a decision you need to make is, do you want to be able to create back orders? Do you want to be able to partially ship an order out?
We probably should have that option. We don't do it very often, but there are times when we should have that option.
Okay, so under admin options with shipping orders and issues, you have the ability to create back orders.
Okay.
Or create a new shipping order. Okay, it's set that way right now in your system, and I'm just going to show you how it works. All right.
Why are we worried about that? We need to figure out the system.
So we do have the option to do back orders already, or not?
Yeah, you do. It's already set.
We only need it in Shirley.
Pardon me?
We probably only need it in Shirley, so.
Yeah. So this is how it works. I'm gonna look at this order. Okay, we got 2 bats.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this one to inventory, and then I'm going to ship the order. So, and again, you know, hope it won't make a liar out of me. So I'll go into bat list. I'm going to search for that serial number. Okay, it finds it. I'm going to go to edit. Okay, I'm going to change it to professional. I'm going to save it. Then I'm going to add it to inventory. Okay, so now it's been changed. Oh, you know what though? Here's the problem with this, Teresa. It doesn't change it on the order line. If I look at the shipping orders, let me go back there. This was order number 5417. Copy.
It's the first one.
Order.
Yeah, it's that first 4.
See, it doesn't change it on the order line, so it won't find it. It doesn't match up. We also, I mean.
No, wait a minute. It won't change what on the shipping line? The P and the D and the A?
Right, it didn't change it there.
Because you had set up so that we can choose the order and make it either professional or amateur, not each individual item.
Right.
So
that works, but you know, in order, you know, you said you like the serial number being changed, but I think we need to keep it at D because either way they're going to get out of sync. I mean, the order header has the specification for it.
So there's no way that when on the order itself, when we serialize the whole order, instead of putting that P and A after the wood, you can't make it be attached to the serial number on the bats. Instead of that D, you find right in the beginning.
I'd have to go through I'd have to put a trigger on it. I can do it. I mean, I can do it so when you change it on the order, it automatically changes all the serial numbers on the order lines to the correct prefix.
PRA?
Yeah.
Because that's the way to do it. That's the cleanest. Can I show you something? When you're making a bat,
Okay.
and I think it'll also bring up some questions. So when we go into,
Well, here, I'm going to make you the presenter. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to give you keyboard and mouse control, and then you can just run my screen. Okay, so have at it.
okay, so when we go to make a bat, sorry. When we go to make a bat, to put into inventory, we go into here.
Yep.
And we fill all this in.
Yep.
Is it, see how everything here is a drop-down menu like this?
Yep. Yep.
Except for this one, where it takes you to another screen, and this one that takes you to another screen. Is there any reason why that has to be like that? Because this is finished, and
Yep,
it's the same. Yeah. Okay.
It's based upon the number of items you have in the table. As soon as you hit a certain threshold, it goes into a lookup. Only because you know, all of this is stored behind the scenes in HTML. So the larger the list, the more of a page you're downloading. So it's just a way of facilitating, you know, a quicker page.
So when you
there's a
the amount of items, these items here, that's what you're talking about.
right. So if you have like, you know, if it's under, I think it's under 50. If it's under 50, then it's going to show up in a drop down like wood type, you know, or size.
Okay. Well,
But
the only thing is,
gets too large, then it's a lookup. Yeah.
okay. The only thing, I don't mean to call you a liar, but barrel and handle both have the exact same number of items in them. And handle comes up like this, and barrel doesn't. Bats, I see. Bat models, we've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them. But this one has the same as handle color. It's got 26, I think it said.
$25 is the threshold then, so.
Yeah, but handle has the same amount as barrel.
Well, I'm just telling what that
I'm sorry, if I
is in the
understand,
base.
it doesn't matter if it's a drop down or the screen that pops up. All you do is when the screen pops up, you click on it, the same as you would a drop down, right?
Right. It's just when you're inputting, like we've been inputting a lot of bats to send out to you guys.
25. You got 25 in handle color.
And 26 in barrel.
The 26 in barrel. 25 is the yeah.
Well, there must be something wrong because we have the exact same colors available to barrels as we do handles. So you know how you're having it added automatically when an order calls for it, right?
Yeah, but I haven't made that change yet. So I mean, these lists were pulled from WooCommerce months ago, and they haven't been updated.
Okay. Well, they're going to be updated soon. We have some new colors to add. So okay. Well, that explains why they're both going to be like that then. It's just when you're adding lots of them, it's kind of a hassle is all. But we'll have to do it on both of them. So I just wanted to ask if there was a reason why. That's a good answer.
Yeah, well, it might be controlled by a setting in the. Can't remember. Hang on. Let me just take a quick look. It might be controlled by a setting in the global ASA file on the web page, under the web. I thought it was set to 40, but it may be set to 25, or it may be hard-coded. All I know is it's part of the base system. I mean, it's just.
Okay. 40 would be a
the way
nice
it
number.
works. I'm trying to log in just to take a look.
Hey, Teresa.
Yeah.
Before we run out of time, I wanted to talk to him a little bit about what I'm going to do with all these bats in Chandler, or what I need to do with all these bats in Chandler, and how to
Perfect.
handle that.
Okay. And I think that'll pertain to us eventually too, because right now we're shipping all our inventory to you, but eventually we're going to start having inventory here. So we should set it up in the same way.
Right. And I just want to get a basic understanding, like, when is a bat considered Chandler inventory? Before it's even started to make, or after it's been shipped to Chandler?
It should be after it ships to Chandler. We're kind of backwards here because we've been learning as we've been doing it, but it should be when it's like today, all those bats that are on the loading dock right now to go to you guys, when it leaves here, it should say Chandler. Well, that's what I think.
Ben, is that correct?
As soon as you add it to inventory to Chandler, it's in Chandler, as far as our system is concerned.
It has nothing to do with it being shipped to Chandler.
You have to put it into inventory. That's what we were going over earlier. Just because if it's not in inventory, it's never going to be in Chandler.
So I should leave it on. I should leave it in Shirley on the dock, and then you should turn it over when you get it, John. Like when the pallet arrives at your place, you receive it into Chandler. Does that make more sense?
Well,
kind of. I was wondering if there's not a way that when she creates a bat, makes it, cuts it, gets it out to the dock, and decides whether it's going Pro or Chandler. Isn't there a way to just say shipping to a certain address and that makes it Pro? Or I know that could be designated already. I don't want to go that far back. But if it gets shipped to Chandler, is there a way to feed that into a Chandler inventory at that point, just by clicking ship to Chandler?
Yes, I can.
Or is it designated that way before it even hits the dock?
No.
Is my question. Okay, so all the bats that I have here in Chandler, I need to do something. I need to receive them. Is that correct?
They're already in there. All the ones we imported initially are in your inventory.
Okay, so can we try to find a bat that I have in my hand that was out in the storage here?
Does it have a serial number on it?
It does. Right?
Okay.
Okay, it's P18519.
That number
18519.
That doesn't sound like one of our serial numbers.
That's what I was going to say to you. John, is that the number that's engraved on the end of the bat?
It is.
That does not mean anything. Until we get done.
What do I do with this bat if I don't have a tag, I don't have that number, what do I do with this bat?
You should have a tag that I sent with Billy when he went home. That should have.
No. Teresa, this is a bat from April. This was a bat made in April of 2017.
Right. So when you did your inventory, Billy, just before you came to Maine, that bat should have been on the inventory. And we downloaded it into the inventory system, and we assigned it a serial number from the inventory system and printed out a tag. So all those tags you took back to you, there should be one in there that matches up with make, model, model, length, and weight.
Okay.
That's as close as we can get on those ones.
Okay.
So
well,
you'll have what's that?
I think those are the ones I'm most concerned with, but I haven't looked at that yet, so I'll have to look and see if I can find this bat. So going back to that, so is that the way it works when a bat's shipped, or it doesn't work that way now? I'm just wondering why we have to ship a bat, and that's, I think, questions more for Ben. Why do we ship a bat from Shirley to Chandler and then have to receive it in Chandler? Can't we get it received in the same time it's shipped? We know it's getting there, right?
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that.
Is it set up that way now?
Yes.
I don't think it is. I mean,
Yeah, it is. All I have to do when I'm shipping bats to them is change the location. Is just like I'm move the location from Shirley to Chandler.
well, there's a couple ways to do that in our system. Okay, you can add the bat to inventory, which puts it directly into Chandler even before you ship it. That's up to you. Or you can put a bat, you can add it to inventory. When you add it to inventory, you add it to Shirley, and then you use our transit feature in the locate move screen to transfer it to Chandler. And when he gets it, then he goes into the same screen and receives it. So it actually
Correct.
puts it in a transit process.
You want to go through all those steps? I kind of see you guys as pretty busy over there. And when I put it on the pallet, if I were you, I'd rather just know that it's coming, but it's up to you guys.
Yeah, because if you do it in transit, it's 2 steps. Teresa has to put it in inventory in Shirley, then she has to put it into transit to Chandler, and then you have to receive it from transit.
Which is okay. It's good checks and balances if you want to do it that way.
No, I don't think that we need to ship it and receive it. I think that's kind of crazy. I mean, we could do it that way if you want, but I don't think we need to. I guess where I'm confused is, so you create this bat from brand new. You haven't even made it yet. And you're starting to make it. You create a tag at that point. Is that correct?
We're talking about, well,
Just get a serial number before it's even cut?
no. All the inventory bats that you get will get a serial number once they're already cut. The bats that you get, well, there's going to be 2 different ones. Like Billy placed an order last week or a few weeks ago for 60 bats. Those get a serial number as soon as the order is received into the system.
Okay. So they're considered a Chandler bat when they're put into the system, or are they still in Shirley at this point?
Nope, they're considered work in progress at that point. When they get to the end and we're ready to ship them, then we would call them Chandler inventory.
So they're not on an inventory at all until that point?
They'd be as an order, working.
Okay.
That's only when he orders things specifically. Inventory bats usually refer to bats that when we're cutting bats that maybe come out too heavy, too light, those are inventory bats. And so when they're cut, they're actually assigned a serial number and designated as inventory.
Okay. And then pretty much all of those bats, 100% of those bats are shipped to Chandler, correct? Or close to it? Or
Right now, 100% of those have been shipped to Chandler or are shipping today to Chandler.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense. So at this point, this bat I'm talking about right now, I have to find a label that Bill brought back to him. If I don't find that label, I create a label and a serial number at that point?
Right.
Yeah,
it's kind of hoping.
Create a bat.
Yeah.
Pardon? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that last part.
Yeah, you just create a bat for it. You do the same thing Teresa's doing for those production bats. She just goes in there and creates a bat, adds it to inventory. But, you know, at some point, it probably is an inventory for you, and you're going to, you know, at some point, you're going to have to go out and count your bats and figure out what you got and what you don't have, and then balance your inventory.
So that's what I would.
Exactly what I'm trying to do here.
That's what I was saying, John. That's why I want you to take all those labels that we sent, find a bat that either matches exactly, and then match them to them and put them in inventory, and then you'll have some labels left over. And sometimes, no, it shouldn't happen to your place, but then you'll have some labels left over that just don't match. Those have to be deleted, and then you'll have bats that for whatever reason don't, you know, the ones that have to be deleted are probably because Billy sold them already.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? Because that inventory was as of August 1st, I think.
Okay.
You'll probably have labels left over that's already been sold, and you may possibly have some bats that don't have a label to match up. That's just human error, and we'll have to make a label for him, and I can show you how to do that. He's got a printer out there. You should be able to hook that up to his computer and go ahead and print him out a label, and that'll serialize it. Now, what we've done over here on those kind of bats is serial number that's engraved on the end of the bat, we've been writing that in the engraving area on the tag.
So
So
the P1819 should be on the tag?
in the engraving area. It won't be the serial number on the tag, the UPC barcoded serial number, but it'll be on the tag in the engraving area if we had it. We probably didn't have that information on Billy's bats that he sent us, his inventory.
Okay.
Didn't have that.
But we're doing that from now on. If we get that, that's the way it's going now.
Right.
Okay. Okay, I got you.
It's going to be confusing for a while, but the UPC barcode,
Yep.
that serial number is what ties you into the system, not necessarily what's engraved on the end of the bat.
All right. Well,
according to inventory records, you have 604 bats that have already been inventoried in the system.
Okay.
Okay, so you must have over 600 tags sitting there that need to be attached to these bats.
It's probably more than that because we have.
Yeah, you've been making them all along too. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So I mean, I think my main focus is going to be to find those 604 and then see what's left over.
Right.
Or a better way to do that.
Exactly.
Okay. And then when I'm finding them, you said something earlier, Ben, I don't know if I can do it at this stage, but you had I don't know where you hit, but you went in and put it like in bin 1. Can I do that at this stage? When it's Chandler?
Well, you need to create your locations. Okay, so, you know, you would log into the system, you would go into the Chandler warehouse, and you would go under inventory and locations and create the locations that you want to manage your stock in.
Okay, so I just go there. Then can you go back to one of the bats on the master list of the 604?
So, John, first decide how many bins you're going to have and what we're going to call them, and then we can get those all set up.
Yes, absolutely. So, Ben, if you go back to the inventory 604, can you pick one of those and show me how to put it in a different location real quick?
Let's see.
I'm sorry, just the master list that showed all 604 bats in Chandler.
Just pick one, right?
Yeah, pick one and then show me how I would move it to like bin 1 once I create it.
Okay, I'll pick this one. Okay, it's in finished goods. All you do is choose your location, bin 1, mark it, and move it.
Okay, I got you. That's what I need to know. Thank you.
Yep.
All
Now,
right, that sounds good.
$1 million question.
Did you have any other questions that you wanted to go over them? Because we're running short on time. You and I can figure all this out later.
Yeah, we can. I have $1 million. $1 million question. We have tags on the end of every bat that have a UPC barcode, and we all own scanners at both locations. How do we use those scanners, and how can that help us instead of doing all this, finding them? Can't we scan that serial number in there and locate it and move it?
Not well. You could. I mean, what kind of scan do you have? Bluetooth scanners that are like keyboard wedge scanners that go on, or what kind of scanners do you have?
Well, I bought the kind you guys told me to buy. I have two different kinds.
I don't know what Ben told you to buy, Teresa. Okay, so
Wrong
I'm
Ben.
just asking.
Wrong Ben. I have one that plugs into a UPC code, UPC whatever outlet in your computer.
On the PC. Yeah.
Yep. I was thinking of putting that one out in manufacturing.
That's
so that
fine.
they could.
I mean, wherever you see an empty text box, you can use that. So if for a locate move, you would just go into locate move, and you would put your cursor there, and you'd scan in the serial number, and then hit the button.
Okay.
There's a mobile app. I don't know if it's enabled on your site yet or even updated, but there's a mobile app.
That's part 2 of my question.
Here, mean, the thing is, most of these are powered by drop-down boxes anyways. If I go to move stock in the mobile app, we can scan in the serial number here.
Is that be needed for Bill when he's out at tournaments selling them? He's got a scanner for his iPhone, so he
Right.
should be able to scan it. He should go into what, move location when he sells it?
No, when he sells it, it'd do a direct issue. But I know there was talk about certain attributes he wanted to catch, and I don't think this hasn't been modified yet to do that. But basically, he would just scan in the serial number here, and it should find it.
When you say certain attributes, like when I talked about how much he sold it for, that kind of attributes, is that what you mean?
No, we talked to Ben about capturing Facebook information, all sorts of social media information.
Right.
None of that's
Or
been done.
Or email or that kind of thing.
Yeah, it was all discussed, but it's never been done.
Yep. We're getting there.
So
Is there a way to do that, to add what he sold it for? Once we get scanners working, he goes to where you're at, scans it. Is there a way to open a field that says what we sell it for? How much money?
Yeah, but I mean, that's all that's good. Well, yeah, everything you issue out, I think there's more options.
Is that something that we create or something that you have to create for us?
No, this has to be created on our side.
Okay.
I don't know why they don't have a. Yeah, you'd have to talk to Ben, figure out the values you want to capture at the time of issue, and then we'd have to modify the screen to do that.
Okay.
Okay.
No, but I would think all you'd really need, all you'd need is a serial number field, that maybe the number of the cost and maybe some other fields to capture. The problem is, again, the programming behind this is generic. So it's designed to work with all our customers. Now, in order to change it to work with you, we may need to simplify it so it's just a serial number scan and a couple of other fields, so it doesn't have all this stuff.
I mean, you guys, all that social media stuff, what are we going to do with that? There's not a lot to do with that, but email would be incredibly valuable, right?
Yeah, Teresa, it's all valuable because if we get social media, then we get followers, and when we get followers, you might not.
You want them to follow you. If you get their social media, you're going to go follow them, right?
Yeah, but if I'm getting an email, I want social media. You want it all. If you can get it.
I think it might be best to get the price and all that stuff figured out and knock that out in the next couple of weeks and get it solid. Then come back and revisit all these other things that we want to capture. But email, I think, is probably really important right off the bat.
Right now, what's really important is for Billy to be able to scan those bats from his phone. When are you starting the NABA? Like this week, aren't you?
Oh no, next
week.
It's September 28th. September 28th, 8
Okay.
days from today.
All right. So by then,
Yeah, I think that's the important part, is him being able to scan. Once we've got that figured out, then we can say, oh, now we want to be able to put a price and the email in. So let's figure out how he's going to scan first.
does that make sense, Ben?
No, you lost me.
So what we need to do at this point is get to a point where how do we let Bill scan a bat with his phone, and how does that integrate with the system?
So it shows sold, and it takes it off the list.
I think you can do that today. You just have to pick the model that you're selling and put in the serial number. The only thing we don't have is price.
Okay.
And I don't know why they don't have price there, but I'm not the guy that works on this platform, so
Right.
Johnny,
that's all you need to do. You could do it today.
Johnny, when you finish applying all those labels to the inventory bats, the ones you have left over, use
Right.
that as a test. Scan it and
Right.
Say that it was moved.
Yep.
Well, you don't want to move it. You want to issue it out. If you're selling it, you're getting rid of it, right?
Right.
Right. Well, that's if you got tags, they've been sold.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I got you.
But I mean, basically all this does is it chooses the model, you know, you choose the model and then you scan in your serial lot number and it should find it. It should allow you to issue it out.
Okay. Is there anything, is there anything that, like a training thing or anything that I could go on and look at your system, how it's built generically for everybody, just so I can familiarize myself with it or anything like that?
Well, it's the one we're on right now, dev.cisslt.com test dovetail.
Okay, so I just go in there and
it's a mirror of your live system. You can do whatever you want here without affecting your inventory.
Okay.
Okay?
But you don't have like a tutorial online on how to use the system, do you?
Ben's put a number of them up there. I can send you a manual. Did he send you a manual?
That'd be awesome. Okay.
Okay, I'll send you all a manual. I think I sent one to Teresa, didn't I? But it's not going to have anything in it about bats. I can tell you that.
Yeah, no, I just want to know how to use your system more effectively for myself. The bats, I can figure all that out. I was just wondering if there's some type of training tutorial that shows me if you want to add a pack of gum or bat, whatever, I don't care what it is. This is the steps to follow to do that.
Yeah, we have a manual. You could ask Ben if he can share some of his YouTube videos with you. You know,
okay, that'd be awesome.
YouTube videos out there all the time.
Okay,
and then every time,
awesome.
Every time we do these trainings too, Johnny, he will send us all a link to it later, so you can go back and slow it down and stop it and take notes.
Yeah.
And I've got a couple more that he did before with us.
Okay, yeah, anything would be helpful at this point.
Okay, I hate to cut you short, but I really gotta go. I have a crazy day here.
Okay, thank you, Ben. Appreciate your time.
Okay, yeah, and I'll wrap this recording up, and Ben will send you a link. Okay.
That'll be awesome. This was really helpful. Thank you.
Okay, good. Bye.
See ya.